Hi guys, we're going to be making fresh pasta today, and I wanted to talk through the three most common flours that are actually used for pasta making. And I've got them all here in front of me, and you'll be able to see that the biggest difference here is the color for this one. Okay, now these two are actually made from the same kind of wheat, but they are put together with other kinds of wheat to actually formulate. But the biggest difference is the texture in these three. So this one over here is incredibly fine, guys. If you rub it between your fingers, it's almost the texture of corn flour, not quite as fine and soft, but very fine. Whereas this one here is bread flour, and also very great to make pasta with, but it is not as fine as 00 flour. Now 00 flour actually refers to the fineness of the texture of the flour. It doesn't actually refer to the gluten content, although the gluten content can be important depending on what pasta you are making. So they blend a whole lot of different flours together to form any kind of flour, but this one here specifically is used for pasta because of its fine texture. Now this one over here is it's called semolina flour, and it's also a wheat flour, but it has got a much coarser grain. So if you felt the texture between this and this, you'd go from very fine to not so fine to coarser grain. And often, guys, if you have pizza from Domino's or from Pizza Express, you'll see these grains on the outside of the pizza because they actually use that to stop it from sticking and to give a bit of crunch and texture to the pizza. So I'm going to go ahead and make some pasta now. I'm going to be using bread flour purely because I don't have enough 00 flour, but I'm also at a later date going to be making some pasta with the semolina flour, just so that I can show you what the difference is. Right, I have my ingredients ready for my pasta. I am using bread flour today, and I'm using 4 eggs. Now, I like to keep it simple in my kitchen. There are hundreds of recipes out there for fresh pasta, guys, and you need to find the one that works well for you. I like this method because it's simple and it's easy, and I can always remember it, and I don't have to think about the recipe. So for every 100 grams of flour that you have, you use 1 egg. Simple as. If I do need to add a little bit of water, then what I do is I take some lukewarm water and I add that a little bit at a time to get my pasta to the right texture that I wanted. But should I need to do that, I will show you later today. Right, so I've got my 4 eggs. Now, you can make this in a bowl. I like doing it like this. I'm going to use my counter anyway to knead my pasta dough, so I just make it all in one go, but you are more than welcome to use a bowl to make it in. I'm just simply going to smash my egg yolks, and I'm going to start just whisking my eggs, and the outside has the flour has been formed like a little volcano, guys, so that it keeps the eggs in. And I'm gradually going to start taking flour from the outside and just incorporating that into the dough. And that's going to take me a little while. Don't worry about it if it breaks. You can just dam it up again with some of the flour. So you'll see I am taking flour from the outside here, and then I'll just scoop in some more as I go along. Now that's going to take me a little while, so just bear with me. Because I've got a lot of pasta here, guys. I'm making pasta for lasagna, and I'm making pasta for to show in different videos, to show some different shapes, as well as some pasta for some ravioli. So when I make fresh pasta, I like to do it all in one go. I'm going to scoop in a lot more, and very soon, guys, I'm going to start using my hands to incorporate this. Right. And just gently start folding the flour from the outside in. The reason you want to do that is because you don't want your hands to get as sticky as they can if you put them straight into the egg. And as you can see, it's starting to come together. Sorry, my camera's in the way of the flour. Should have actually covered my camera in some cling film, but it's getting there. Right, nice dough. And then I'm going to start squeezing it together. Don't worry too much about the pasta or the dough that sticks to your fingers. I promise once you start kneading, that is going to disappear. Now, pasta dough is very different to bread dough. You know, guys, when I started making bread, I hadn't been teaching for as many years as I've taught now, but when I started making bread dough, I always used to make my bread dough way too tough. And then when you try and knead it, it actually becomes very, very difficult. And then when I started making pasta and I realized the difference between the doughs, it was amazing to me. And also, the years that I've been teaching and making bread hundreds of times, I've realized all the mistakes that I've been making in bread as well. So when I make bread now, I try and put as much water in, literally just to that point where it's not sticking to my fingers. So it makes a lovely soft dough. It's easy to knead. Right, so as you can see, I've incorporated most of that flour. And I'm just going to, now guys, kneading pasta dough is hard work, all right? More so than bread. And what you're looking for is you're looking for a very smooth dough and pliable dough. Now, I'm just going to go and get some water ready because I think I'm going to need a couple of tablespoons of water, but I'll come back and show you that in a second. Right, so I've just got some hot water just out of the tap, and I'm going to dip my hands in it, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the dough. Guys, you don't want your dough wet. Pasta dough is not supposed to be wet at all. So it's supposed to be nice and pliable, and the way in which you do that is to get it kneaded. And kneaded very, very well. So I'm going to keep on kneading this. I think I might add just one more splash of water, just the same as I did before, and then I'm just going to carry on kneading it. And you can see the texture now, and I will come back and show you what the texture should look like once you have got it kneaded. It's going to take a good long while, guys, about 15 to 20 minutes, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Right, guys, so I've been kneading that for a while now. I'm still going to knead it even more, but you can see that it's got a nicer texture now. It's softer, all right, and I'm going to knead it for another sort of 5 minutes before I leave it to rest. All right, guys, so I've been resting my pasta for about 10 minutes, and I just wanted to come back and show you what it should look like. Now, when you push your pasta, it shouldn't spring back. It should leave a nice deep dent. I'm not quite happy with that yet. All right, so I'm going to leave it for another 10-15 minutes or so, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like. All right, guys, I'm back again, and I'm happy with my pasta dough now. It's nice and relaxed, and that's what we want, guys. We want the pasta dough to be relaxed. I'm going to put some flour on it, and can you see how smooth it is compared to what it was in the beginning? I'm only going to work with half the dough at a time, and I'm going to, for this bit, for making the lasagna pasta, I'm going to be using my machine, and I'll be back as soon as I've set that up. Right, guys, I'm ready to roll the pasta. And I just wanted to tell you that when you're using a pasta machine, you want your dough to be slightly less wet than if you were rolling it out by hand, just purely because you don't want it sticking to the machine. So I've got a pile of flour here, and I'm just going to rub both sides of my dough just so that it doesn't stick. And I'm going to have some flour in front of my machine so that it doesn't stick once it's gone through the roller. So I've just sort of pulled my pasta dough so that it's roughly sort of a shape or a width that can go through the pasta machine. Now, to show you my pasta machine, I have got a pasta machine that can make tagliatelle and taglini, but I very rarely use it, guys. I just use a knife, but it's a pain to change this part of the machine, so I literally just use a knife to do it. But you can get these. They're not that expensive, but most little pasta machines are £20 or so, which is fantastic price. So what you want to do on your pasta machine is you've got this little dial on your machine, and if you pull it out, you'll be able to see that you've got numbers here, 1, 2, 3, and you want your pasta machine on the widest setting, not the thinnest setting. Sorry, I got that the wrong way around. So you've got it on 1 here. I've got it on 1. And what you want to do is you want to roll your pasta through. Now, what you do, I hope my arm is not going to block it. I'll try and do it from the top. You're going to put your pasta into the top. Just hold it lightly, guys. Don't try and force your pasta in any way. And you're simply going to turn the handle. Now, don't pull your pasta from this side. You don't want to pull your pasta. You want to have it going through the machine and the machine doing the work for you. And then simply, when you get it out the other side, just make sure that it's nice and flat. And again, I want to make sure I've got a good amount of flour on my pasta dough so that it doesn't stick. And then I'm going to put it through that width once again. And what I like to do is, so the camera's in the wrong place, so I've got to get my arms. I like to put it through twice on the same setting. Make sure I've got some flour on it. And guys, I like to do this when I do my rolling by hand as well, because you can roll pasta by hand as well. I started off with a machine because it's hard work rolling pasta by hand. I don't know how the pasta grannies do it. Well, they do it every day of their lives, so they're used to it. But it's right now. I've got it on 2. I'm going to, sorry, it's a bit squeaky. Now, I've seen people putting this through on a circle. So, sorry, my machine is squeaking like mad. They actually join the 2 edges together. Camera. They join the 2 edges together as it's going through the machine, and then do it like a big round going, but I don't do that. And you can see, guys, I've got a few, these are little air bubbles. I just get those out, and I'm going to put that through again on the same setting. So I sort of try and go twice. I think I need to oil my pasta. Oops, sorry guys. I think I need to oil my pasta machine. Alright, and you can see as you put it through your pasta machine, it's going to get smoother and thinner with every layer. So I'm going to carry on doing that and get it to the thickness that I want it, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, I've gone through a few times and I'm on 4 now. I want it slightly thinner than this, but at the moment this is almost as long as my counter from one side to the other. So I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to work with 2 pieces. The piece that I'm not working with, I'm going to put under some either cling film or a damp cloth, just so that the pasta doesn't dry out while I'm working with it. Right, okay guys, I'm ready now, and this is how thin I like my pasta. Some people like it on the slightly wider setting. Mine's on its thinnest now, so it's on 6, but a lot of people like their lasagna sheets on 5. I don't. I like using a lot of lasagna, so I make as many layers as I possibly can, but then I make my pasta as thin as I can. And you can actually see through the pasta, and you can see whatever's underneath it. And I love that. I love the sort of silkiness and the smoothness of it. But I'm now going to get ready to assemble my lasagna, and that will be in a different video. Enjoy, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will have another video that will show you how to hand roll your pasta. So if you don't have a machine, they have made pasta without machines for many years. So please, I will show you how to do that by hand as well.